Brown.
I just got back from golfing just now. What I want you to understand is that you have to put yourself into different positions that you've never been in before, right? So I've just started golfing maybe a month or two ago, right? Got my clubs, got everything. And so it's forcing me to go to the golf clubs, go to the country clubs, go to the driving range, right? And you see so many other people, right? But who's going golfing on a Tuesday at 11 a.m., right? You wouldn't think a lot of people. Bro, there's a ton of people. And so you have to beg the question then, what do they do for work that they're available, right? Because the 9-to-5ers are at work. So what the do you do? And so this is why you have to put yourself in these positions to try new things and do new things, right? Not to say that if you're a golfer that you shouldn't be doing this already, or not to say that if you're doing something that is already benefiting you that you should stop, but you have to at least add and incorporate new things into your system, into your daily routine, into the things that you do on a regular basis, right? Because you don't know who you're gonna meet, right? I met so many business folk today, so many business folk in the past. When I was in Utah, I know I didn't drop that video, but we went golfing and it was in this fabulous area. Maybe I might drop that video. But right, it was gorgeous. And I met so many millionaires and billionaires on the golf course. Bro, so take yourself out of your current environment and put it in a new one. Because when you start to take yourself and put it into an environment that makes you uncomfortable or put you in a space that you're not necessarily conquering, right? That you have to figure out how to play golf or how to communicate with people, bro, you're going to not only elevate yourself, but elevate your business, right? Your business is an extension of you. So when people ask me, what am I doing on a Tuesday at 11 a.m., they're thinking the same thing, right? They may not want to know everything about my life, but they also are going to ask, what is this boy doing at 11 a.m., right? And then if you lead with, hey, I run a marketing content agency, and I also am doing my personal brand, right? And they want to know about what you do. So when you get in these positions where you can network, then go ahead and network, right? And this doesn't mean in the beginning, as soon as you meet somebody, that you should be selling yourself all the time, right? Sometimes it's, yes, give them what you do, but you don't need to push for a sale. You don't need $1 extracted. You don't need anything. This is just to make a connection. Once you make that connection on the golf course, given that we're at a golf course, you play. Right? Play golf. Talk about the common things like we talked about in another video. Use the rules and tips and tools for networking while you are in these spaces where you can use them. You don't need to try to sell or make a business up out of the blue or whatever off the first connection. No, work on that first impression. And if the first impression is good, all you need to do is then continue to make better impressions as soon as you see the person, and don't let them forget you. So on this first impression, while you're playing golf, let's say, make something unique. Tell them something unique about yourself. Ask them a unique question that forces them to think, right? A question that's not just in their day-to-day, that they can breeze by and say, yep, but whatever, right? You have to become you have to put the spotlight on yourself in people's minds. You have to let them know what you do. You have to then be relatable, right? To some degree, you have to be personable, right? You have to be a great listener, right? And pay attention to detail and what people care about, and then hit on the things that they care about so that you can seem as if you're, or at least show them that you care about what they're saying, you're listening, right? Active listening. Don't talk as much. Allow them to push on about what they're talking or what they do for their life, right? So ask a lot of questions about how do they do this, or what did they do to get over this, right? What would they do different if they were your age, right? So when you get in these spaces with these older gentlemen or older women or whatever, whoever you meet and they're older than you, put all the focus on them and try to extract information, right? And you don't need to, you literally do not need to sell a thing to them. Because imagine this, you're at a golf course, you play 8 holes, you meet with these billionaires or these millionaires, all they want to do is invest their money, right? And if all you do is talk about the things that you care about and you drown them out and you don't give them opportunity to speak, you'll never understand or know what they're thinking or what they want to do with you, right? So take your time, put the focus on them, right? Listen, hear them out, right? Talk about the game maybe, talk about PGA. This is also why you want to understand a lot about everything, right? So I don't really listen to sports at all. I really don't. I just don't care. Sports is not something I give a fuck about. However, I will dabble into watching tennis, the PGA, NBA, NFL, baseball, all of these sports that people care about. Simply because if you can speak to these things that are going on in the world, even though you don't know a lot about it, but you know enough to give them the framework to act as if you know a lot about it, people will then want to talk to you more. Because the more you can engage with the conversation that they're having, the better they are with then speaking more. And that's kind of what you want when you're networking. Have that other person speak as much as possible, right? And so if you're on the golf course and you have all this information and you're using the tips and tricks that you know already, they will most definitely invite you to come back again with them. So the next time they go golfing, if they're avid golfers and they come all the time, they're probably going to text you and say, hey, down to go to the driving range, or hey, down to play 8, or down to play 9, sorry. Right? So yeah, it's literally a thing. It's totally a thing that you have to master. And so you got to get out your comfort zone. 1, that's number 1. 2, put yourself in unique positions where you can speak to your uniqueness, right? Be a great listener. Put all the spotlight on the speaker, the person that you're trying to get to know and network with. Get into their daily or their weekly routine. Have them invite you out. And once they start to invite you out, that I wouldn't even push for the sale then either. Take your time. Still be personable, right? You still want to gather information. You still want to be seen as useful, right? And then when they invite you outside of the golf course, maybe for a drink at a bar or a drink somewhere else, or go out to a restaurant, a buddy of theirs, whoever knows, right? You go out and now you're outside of the golf course, and now we can start to expand on talking about maybe a sale or how you can be of service to them. And when you get to that position where you've made a network and they've invited you outside of the initial meeting spot, that is when you then want to kind of shine, not outshine them, but shine in the sense of in your own way. So tell them what you do, right? How can you be of service to them in what they're doing, right? And when you're of service to them, make that first contact and of sale, like that first point of sale with them, be free. Realistically, you want your repetition up. If you've been in the game long, okay, cool. Then you actually get a dime out of it. But if you're just getting like your fucking your wings, then like if you're just getting your wings, then slow your roll. Take it for the experience. Take it for the network opportunity, right? See where it goes. And usually people of caliber will still give you an incentive. They will, just because they will feel bad within themselves not doing it, right? But you still want to show that you're not asking for anything. I'm not asking for shit. I don't want any of your money. I just want to learn from you, and I want this opportunity so that I can learn more about the service that I'm trying to provide to people, right? And then maybe on the second encounter or the second sale with them, you then collect a check. So it's not all about money like we talked about in previous videos. It's never all about money. It's more so about the network, right? Your network is your net worth. So you always want to press for that networking opportunity, which is why you need to change your environment immediately and change it often. Go to the exclusive bars. Go to the exclusive country clubs. Go to the exclusive car meets. Go to any sort of space where there are unique people that do unique things in this world, right? That are the game changers of the world and the world changers, right? Start to fit in with them. Get acquainted with all of them. Make yourself a presence. Make yourself known. Once you're known, once you've made a name for yourself, people can identify your face and know who you are. Bro, that's where you start. This is why personal branding and branding in general is so fucking important, is because once you can associate yourself with things and people and brands, you can then be recognized by the general public with those brands. So get into those rooms. Go to these new unique places. Bro, if you're going to a bar currently that only charges $16 for a drink, bro, go to the bars that charge $22, $24, right? Bring your computer, sit there, read a book, do something. People will want to know who you are if you're doing unique things in unique places that others are actually at, that other unique people are at, right? A lot of people want the exclusivity, and if they see another person who's here, they would regard you and associate you with where you are. You're here for a reason on Tuesday at 11 a.m. You're not the average, so who are you? It's a question that's going through people's brain. So Remember that and push yourself outside of what you know already. Get into that uncomfortable position where you're sipping on a drink that you know costs $2 where you come from. Right? So take the time and implement this into your daily routine, and I promise you, you will meet some profound people and go to some profound places and probably make a lot of fucking money with the new connection and the new networks that you'll be in. So try it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Always, I'll see y'all later.
Boy, Mr. Brown.